Surely the most honorable of you with Allah is the one among you most careful of his duty. 226,433. Jews and Christians also say that only we are sons of God, friends of God and beloveds of God, and that paradise is only for us. Of course they claim thus only verbally, whereas in reality they are devoted to the world, not to Allah and the hereafter. The Holy Quran describes them. And you will most certainly find them the greediest of men for life, greedier than even those who are polytheists. 227. In fact they are the friends of the devils, not friends of the beneficent. They are slaves of worldly passions and desires and not at all interested in Allah and the hereafter. Why are you afraid of death? They say that paradise and salvation in the hereafter is destined only for them. If they really believe like this, then why are they afraid of death and the loss of material things, and why are they constantly praying for extension of worldly life and for enjoying constant benefit of the worldly passions and desires? Challenging such people, the Lord of the universe says, say, if the future abode with Allah is specially for you to the exclusion of the people, then invoke death if you are truthful. 228. It is mentioned in Tafsir Majmal Bayan that one who is sure about getting paradise must give preference to death, which is the only way to reach paradise in comparison to worldly life, which is full of hardships. One who is sure that death is the means of getting excellence and success will certainly love it more than life, as Amirul Mu'minin A.S. says. By Allah, the son of Abu Talib is so much attached to death as a suckling baby is to its mother's breast. Therefore when the Imam was strolling fearlessly between ranks in the battle of Siffin, his son Hassan Mu'taba A.S. said, "O father, your moving like this in the midst of battle lines is not desirable because it is likely to enable the enemy to harm you." He replied, "Your father does not worry whether he falls on death or death falls on him." Likewise, when in the said battle, Ammar Yasser decided to join, he was extremely happy and being sure of his martyrdom said joyfully, "I am proceeding to my friends, the Holy Prophet S and his companions." It is narrated that the Holy Prophet S once said, "One of you should long for death because of being caught in worldly hardships and troubles. He should pray, O Lord, keep me alive until life is good for me, and give me death when death is good for me." 229,436. Another tradition says that longing for death is condemnable because it shows a dislike for the will of God, whereas here what is hinted at is patience and submission to divine will. But where a wish for death has been prohibited, it is for the expression of a longing of the believer that death should not come to him, so that during that time he may try to compensate for his sins and make provision for his journey to the hereafter. If this aim is in one's heart, then the desire for the world is not different from a wish for death. Its example is like a king who calls someone to him but does not fix a time for it, whereas that man takes only that much time for presenting himself to the king which is absolutely necessary for its preparation. His only desire is that king's men should come to take him only after he has made preparation for it. As detailed in the preceding pages, the only aim of this preparation should be to present oneself to Allah. That is why a temporary love for the world is an essential demand of faith in Allah and the hereafter. But so far as the Jews are concerned, they are mad after this world only for enjoying its pleasures. That is why they long for a long life and wish to live for 1,000 years. This desire of theirs makes them fearful of death and proves that they are lying when they claim that they are the lovers of God and worthy of paradise. On the other hand, all groups of Muslims think themselves to be followers of Quran and lovers of Prophet and his progeny. Every one of them claims that he will attain salvation and that others will be destroyed, whereas, barring a few, almost all of them are full of love for the world. Instead of being ardent lovers of God and his Prophet, they are dazzled by the glamour of this world. Instead of obeying the commands of Quran, they obey their desires and satanic suggestions. The center of their activities is only the worldly success. They are ever ready to acquire every knowledge or science which can guarantee worldly benefits for them. But they never try to understand divine knowledge and religious commands. They answer every devilish call and attend every meeting or gathering which takes them away from God and hereafter. They always avoid meetings which draw their attention towards God, his Prophet and the hereafter. Evil of running away from religious scholars. The Holy Prophet has said, a time will come for the people when they will run away from scholars, as goats flee upon seeing wolves. At that time Allah would entangle them in 3 calamities. 1. He will take away blissful abundance barakat from their wealth. 2. He will impose a cruel ruler on them, and 3. They will be called up from the world without faith. 230. In another tradition, the Holy Prophet said, people will see days when they will make their bellies their gods, their women their qibla center of constant attention, worldly wealth their religion, and property their criterion of excellence or ability. It will be a time when nothing from faith except the name, nothing from Islam except rituals, and nothing from Quran except lessons will remain. There, mosques will stand only like buildings of stones, whereas their hearts will have nothing like guidance. The scholars of that era will be the worst men on the surface of earth. That is, the majority of them will be world worshippers. O Master of the Age, hasten your arrival. Let it be known that the ever-increasing dishonesty and faithlessness, the destructive corruption, the overflowing shamelessness and obscenity in which today's man is imprisoned because of his intense love for material world cannot be stalled by any power. This current is going to spread endlessly, to such an extent that people will find it extremely difficult to live, and they will anxiously wait for a reformer who may relieve them from misfortune. That will be the time when Almighty God will make the 12th Imam Mahdi appear in the world. The Imam will, by the divine authority, grant enlightenment to hearts and wisdom to minds until truth will appear dazzlingly open. The intense love for this world, which is the root cause of every trouble and corruption, will be wiped out from the hearts. The human hearts will overflow with the love of Allah, the Prophet and the hereafter, and people will incline towards the other world and give up love for temporary material things. When this will happen, people will realize the real truth about man's pure life, and they will enjoy real happiness. To believe that the 12th Imam will appear and fill the world with justice and equity is one of the essentials of faith. In this connection, not only there are widely narrated traditions of the Holy Prophet but God of the universe also has given good tidings to all prophets that in the last era, man will become God-fearing and virtuous, and the earth will become totally tranquil and peaceful. It is mentioned as Surah Anbiya. And certainly we wrote in the book after the reminder that as for the land, my righteous servants shall inherit it. 231. What will be the overall condition of people in that time? To have further knowledge about it, please refer to Volume 13 of Biharul Anwar. Here we quote only one relevant tradition. When intelligence will become perfect. In Usul al-Kafi there is a tradition of Imam Muhammad Baqir that he said, when our Imam will stand up, he will put his hand of mercy on the slaves of Allah so that their minds and ambitions will be perfected. 232. People will become so wise and gentle that even if a lady travels from Baghdad to Damascus with a box full of diamonds and other precious stones, no one will even throw a passing glance at her. In short, the worldly love will be totally removed from human hearts. Our responsibility in the present age. It is the duty of every believer to, first of all, reform himself and drive away worldly love from the heart as detailed before. Then, acting according to the rule of prohibiting evil nahi anil munkar, warn his near and dear ones and try his utmost to remove the root cause of every trouble and corruption, viz., love for worldly matter from the hearts of people. In this way he should fulfill his responsibility imposed on him by the religious law Sharia to reduce restlessness, trouble and corruption from the society. Crooked thinking of the unwise and its answer. Some senseless people think that big industrial countries are drowning human societies in materialism, worldly love and passion in such a big way that no individual or a group can, despite all their wishes, escape emulating and imitating them. Rather, such people are not considered as living at all. So in these circumstances and in this state of affair there remains no need from any effort to make men think about God and hereafter. Thus it is necessary for all to imitate the world worshippers. We say that it is just like imitating animals, which intelligence does not accept, because if a wise man sees some people fallen in dirt, would his reason make him also dive into the muck for remaining connected with others? In the said advanced countries, there are some wise